हसरत है हमारी बाबा, कर दो वो पूरी आके। मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके, मिल जाओ प्यारे बाबा हम बच्चों से आके।
बाप दादा भी साइंस वाले बच्चों को मुबारक देते हैं, क्योंकि आपके बच्चे उसे सुख तो ले रहे हैं। कितना अच्छा लग रहा है। लेकिन बाप दादा अब क्या चाहते, तो स्थापना होते कितने वर्ष हो गए। डायमंड जुबली मनाने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। बाप दादा अभी सभी बच्चों को राजा बचेगा ना, सब राजा है। तो राजे कहाँ बैठते हैं, तख्त पर ना। राजा तख्त नशीन होता है ना, कि नहीं? तो सब राजे बच्चे हो, तो राज की निशानी ताज, तख्त और तिलक होता है। बाप दादा इस वर्ष में चाहे नहीं हो चाहे पुराने हो, अगर नहीं भी हो तो समापत्ति का समय, तो नयों के लिए भी समीप है तो पुरानों के लिए भी समीप। ऐसे नहीं समझना, ऐसा नहीं समझना तो हमारे को भी 60 वर्ष शायद मिलने हैं। नहीं, मेकअप करना है आपको। अगर लास्ट आई हो तो फास्ट जाना पड़ता, लेकिन संपन्न होने का, समापत्ति का समय सबका एक ही है। इसलिए चाहे नए हो चाहे पुराने हो, लेकिन मैं स्वराज अधिकारी आत्मा हूं। सदा स्मृति का तिलक लगा हुआ ही है, कभी मिट जाए कभी लगा हुआ हो नहीं। राज्य अधिकारी अर्थात तिलकधारी, ये स्मृति का तिलक अविनाशी रहे, साधारण नहीं। मैं तिलकधारी, मैं विश्व कल्याणकारी के जिम्मेवारी के ताजदारी। कितना बड़ा विश्व है, और आप सभी विश्व कल्याणकारी हो। अकेला बाप नहीं है, बाप के साथ ही आप सभी हो। तो विश्व कल्याणकारी की जिम्मेवारी के ताजदारी, और सदा बाप के दिल तक नशी, नीचे नहीं आना है, सदा तक नशी।
बड़ी मन भावनी मुरली प्रेम से प्राणों को सींचे, रसीली तान की ये डोर आपकी ओर ही खींचे, आपकी ओर ही खींचे। रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी मीठी बातों में, रूहानी स्नेह का जादू आपकी आपकी मीठी बातों में।
Om Shanti. Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. Disciplined remembrance. The pilgrimage of remembrance should be easy and also powerful. Powerful remembrance gives you a twofold experience at the same time. On the one hand, remembrance is like fire, which does the work of burning and brings about transformation. On the other hand, it gives you the experience of happiness and lightness. Such disciplined remembrance is accurate and powerful. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 11. Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. Today's topic, disciplined remembrance. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everyone is okay. Is everyone well? Everyone happy? Very good. I was listening to Revise Murli, and Baba said, if there is tolerance, everything will be successful. But then the word, another virtue, with tolerance, if there is serenity, sense, shakti, and saralta. And I like that because if you are not serene, you will be bothered, right? You won't be able to let go and keep saying, why I have to tolerate? Why this one has to be like that? No? A lot of wasteful thoughts. But if you are serene, okay, this is this one's nature or way of saying things, or but not taking it in. Because sometimes we use the word power to merge, but we try to merge, but every time it again, somebody said, I try to forget, but it keeps coming back again and again. So I thought that serene nature, saral swabhav, I think it's a very good virtue because no, Baba, for Baba also we say, Lord of Innocent, Bhulapan. It's not naive, you're not Buddhu, but you are Bhola. There's a difference between Buddhu and Bhola, right? Buddhu is not, we don't know. And innocent is Bhulapan. Baba knows everything, but the way Baba comes in front of us, he doesn't know. And that's what we have to do. You know, it has the in attitude, if you don't keep anyone's mistakes or anyone's weaknesses, it's very pure. And it really gives lot of energy to souls. One time, one soul did some big mistakes, small mistakes. So I came to know, and then I was in Madhuban from some other country, came and he took drishti and then he left. When he left, then someone said that Mohini Didi knows about this. But I didn't feel it from her drishti. And that gave him life. Even if there would have been little bit experience in drishti, oh, you did it. I know you had made mistake. But who am I? I am not a judge, right? Baba has to look at that, and it's Baba who has to take everyone's chart. Yeah, even if I know, but like Baba gives drishti, through drishti what we feel, our perfect stage, our final stage. Has anyone ever felt any anger from Baba's eyes? Baba's drishti never, no? Ocean of love, Lord of innocence, benefactor, world benefactor, bestower. And Baba says we have to be like Baba. It takes time, but now is the time. Right? We cannot keep saying it takes time. That we cannot hold anything, should not hold anything in our attitude about anyone. So is this nature, so that everyone can approach, everyone can talk, everyone can feel light, is very, very important. So yesterday was very nice, a vague signal about going in details but still staying to the essence of everything. When a lot of people talk, I remember we say, "Aakhir baat kya hai?" What is actually the matter? Right? Because everyone had different interpretation, different understanding, different way to say things. Then we say, but ultimately, what's the point? Where we are at, right? So if we stay to our essence form in our nature, and then Baba said, detach while doing actions. Nyarapan. So these are like practices, dharana. And then this will help you to have good concentration. Because if things are left in the mind, some things are left in the intellect, they keep coming back, the thoughts. There are two things sometimes. What you have in mind, just say it if you have to tell someone, but if you keep it then again and again. So our Didi Mohini used to tell us, write down. Whatever thought you have, whether for action or even just write down, write. And at the right time you read it and then tell. But if not, then you again say, oh, I have to say this. This one has to do this. Or this one, so instead of remembering Baba, our intellect is wandering. Even it's not negative, but again and again same thoughts could come. So to ignite the flame of remembrance, volcanic remembrance, what is important? To have that concentration. Volcanic form of remembrance is a collective way. At present, you need to have volcanic form of remembrance in a collective way. That is why Amrit Vela is there, but evening yoga is very, very important. I was telling that we turn on a Vyakti Parivar yoga at 6 p.m. We always turn on television, and here you have screen. Just turn on. Some are sitting. So those who are around, sitting here, there, they come and sit. And their voices very beautifully. They have Avek Babdada, then they have different kinds of commentaries, sometimes five forms of, practice of five forms. There's always something on the screen from 6 o'clock until then the series begin. So this way what happened that the whole atmosphere of the place also becomes very active. Only volcanic remembrance will make the atmosphere powerful so that weak souls will be filled with the power. Even if we are busy doing courses, whatever, but there are always some who can take benefit, right? All obstacles will easily finish, and the fire for the destruction of the world will also be, it's on already, right? But that will also be ablaze. So what Baba, we're doing yoga anyway, we're doing remembering anyway. Why not do it properly? And that is volcanic. That is full concentration. And full concentration is when your mind, intellect, and heart are at same place. If all three are at different interest, different place, then there can be concentration. And it won't ignite the flame. And when it won't ignite the flame, then automatically we know that it won't be volcanic remembrance. So every day Baba, little by little, clarifying what dharana is required for fire of yoga. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Didi. Good evening.
Om
Good evening,
Shanti.
everyone. Om Shanti.
Mm.
I have so many questions for you today. Actually, some from the Murli and some from what Baba was talking about, and some from the 1971 Avyakt Murli. So let's start with the 1971 Avyakt Murli. When Baba is saying serenity and tolerance, what does serenity mean to you? Like when I say I have to be serene, Saral, what do I have to do?
And Baba then connected that with very good qualities also, depth, gambirta. So that means that person also be. It's a kind of innocence where I don't want to necessarily keep thinking, blaming. There are different subtle things which we do. And because of that, these days there is no tolerance, in within few minutes, irritation, anger like fire, then violence, all that, because there is no tolerance, right?
Right,
But
right.
if you stay, I know there is always this big question that, if you are knowledgeful, there could be ego, but if you are wise, there is no ego. Because wisdom is different than knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So, similarly, tolerating, but it's like you don't feel bad about anything, you don't hold to anything. If we hold anything in our attitude, then that also a lot of wasteful thoughts and it could bother us. So I think we all will reflect on that. I like it. The tolerance and serenity. I know
So,
when we were young, there used to be prayer to God, give me a serene nature. I used to like it because why I have to unnecessarily have wasteful thoughts, think about this one, that one, fast, and it's not necessary, right? So if I can have a serene nature, I think it's very useful.
So what you're saying is that the commonality between serenity and tolerance is not having wasteful thoughts.
Not holding anything
Not
in
holding anything, right? Not holding anything.
that
Okay.
also, especially in attitude, because when it's something in attitude, it has very powerful vibrations, right?
Right.
Even don't say anything, but it just so powerful, even more powerful than the thoughts, I think. Because
Right.
whenever I hear this one changes attitude, this one changes attitude, now they know there must be some feelings now from there.
Right. Right.
But actually, anyone changes, I should be happy, smiling, pleasant, nice with that person. I think then it should help, right? But
Yes.
because that one is holding, so I should also keep away or hold it. Again, I don't have to do that, right?
Right. Right.
I don't like it. Still, I hold it, right? In my, oh, this one's attitude is like this for me. Uh, you shouldn't feel that way too. What
Right.
you
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm taking what you're saying in, especially about the attitude, how important it is because it really sets the vibrations of
I
everything.
should rather have a sympathy for that person, saying, oh, she suffers from this. Like in a physical way, somebody is not feeling well. So if somebody is holding someone for me in attitude, I should help that soul by having good wishes, pure feelings, and it will be over. Even if it's not over, I shouldn't be affected by that. No. When there
Right.
is season of flu now is a whole thing, but whenever any epidemic is there, we protect ourselves. No.
Yes. Yes. So, Didi, I have a few more questions. One question was because you were talking about having good wishes. A few weeks ago in 1971 Murli, one of the 1971 Murlis, Baba was said that as a teacher, every step is a test paper. So, what is the test paper? Like, can I have good wishes for everyone? That's the test paper. Is the test paper? Can I love everyone? Is the test paper? My attitude is very pure. What's the test paper?
Hmm. Because if we have any kind of sanskars of habit, let's say I always blame someone for whatever happens. Now, if that's the habit, anything happened, you did it, you did it, you did it. Now that's a sanskar, which is not a good sanskar. Because things do happen, right? It could be anyone. Hmm. So things do happen, but what we have to do, just have good wishes for that person. That's something very, very important.
Right,
So not hold.
right.
So we have to look into
The another question was this.
our habits.
Right, right,
I like something happened, I will say, okay, it happened. No, you did it. I mean, it could happen. It could happen with you. It could happen with me. But pointing out towards someone, it becomes a habit then. You keep saying, you have done it. It's because of you. I feel it had to happen. It could be me. Right? So try to see that, we remain like not, just have good wishes for that person.
right, right. The just now when you were saying, you said, did you ever see Baba angry, like his drishti, right? Never, ever. But what will be the stage of Baba when he is Dharmraj? It's not going to be anger, but there will be a kind of a firmness, right?
I don't think he has to do anything, right? I feel he will just be, what everyone remembers is God's love. Everyone remembers God's mercy. But then what happens? People want that there should be faith, there should be fear. So they always talk about punishment. God will punish you, God will punish you, God will punish you. But I don't know why I feel that God never punishes anyone. But suffering of our own karmas, and, whether it is in the form of guilt, in the form of, different forms internally, it bothers the soul. Like we say at confluence age, one who is not able to have good yoga is some karmic accounts, right? So there
Right.
is a lot of suffering. And that is why I feel that this volcanic yoga can help. Because if your yoga is like fire, it will burn the past sanskars and sins, and it will help you a lot. So sufferings are so many different kinds. Suffering of mind. Oh, there are some people, whole life they feel, nobody likes me. I say, but everyone likes you. No, I know I am not being liked. Lack of self respect. I am not being loved, or I am not given enough share. I never get fair chances. Always feeling that I hadn't been given what I really deserve. But I feel that's a lot of suffering. When you
Right.
stay in self respect, and you will get it or you can claim it, and why it won't come to you, it will. Why people won't love you, they love you. But this whole feeling of I am not being loved is coming from some past sanskar, and that
Mhm.
sanskars keep making you suffer. So suffering is not only physical, especially these days. It's lot of mentally, emotionally, people are unnecessarily making themselves suffer, but it's not in their control,
Right.
right? I feel Supreme Judge is with us every moment of the life,
Right.
every moment. Yeah.
How about the tribunal? One
To
of
say,
the one of the 1971 Murlis, Baba said these Maharathis will be on the tribunal, and I'm guessing he was looking at the Dadis and saying that. So there will be a tribunal, right, Didi? At the end, someone is going to sit in the tribunal.
it always happens that someone becomes the instrument in your life to teach you, to signal, to point out and say. So in the end, immediately my thought will come, oh, this Dadi always used to tell me, but I didn't pay attention. And so I don't think people, Dadis have to sit there, but maybe in the end, they will also say goodbye to us. I don't see that in whole life, in our institution, there is nothing like punishment, right?
No,
It's
no,
just love.
always
It's
less,
just love.
always forgiving, always forgiving.
So how can suddenly the sanskar emerge of punishing? So punishments are very self-inflicted. So I have to
Mm,
come out of that, never feel lacking and not being treated well. So just have self-respect, self-dignity, and see how everything is so good.
mm, right, right. So,
Don't fear Supreme Judge. You should make friendship with Supreme Judge.
right, right. Um, so in today's Murli, um, several questions. One of the questions in today's Murli was Baba said, study the Murli and teach other people how to study the Murli. How do you study the Murli? When Baba says study the Murli, what does he mean by it?
I mean, let's say there is a lawyer, engineer, doctor. How do they study? Right. So Murli is not just reading. I listen Murli, I read Murli. But studying is where you take some particular points and see, go in depth, apply them, experiment with them. And when you explain to others, like a doctor has to at the right time remember which medicine to give. Otherwise, he look in the book. I've seen in clinics, a junior doctor will come to senior and say, "What do you think? I want to prescribe this." So studying and then applying, right? So we have to study Murli, not read Murli. Because it does say in Path of Bhakti, read Gita every day. So people read the whole chapter, right? But what
Right.
it means, what I have to do today. But when you study, write notes. If you have questions, ask, make it more clear, understand. All that is part of study. Right?
So in today's Murli, Didi, what did you study? Teach us something. Because sometimes I feel that we keep hearing the Murli and like yogis like you give us a fresh perspective on something, right?
I mean, many times, especially these days, I'm very focused on igniting the flame of yoga, volcanic yoga. So every point, whatever comes on remembrance, I keep using that more and more now. So a lot of focus is on the homework of a Vyakti signal. And then with the Murli, take the points to help me also to increase my power of remembrance, powerful remembrance.
Right. Even I'm noticing these days how much remembrance is so important and how to really increase remembrance. In the blessing today, Baba was talking about if you really want to overcome Maya, you have to become Trikaldarshi. So, what is this practical aspects of Trikaldarshi?
Knowing the three aspects of time. Everything begins with the thought, then it's the words, and then it's actions, right? Now I know that a thought has come. If I do not correct my thought or take the right thought, then it will change into words and then it will happen in actions. But then sometimes we miss that, and there is thought go into action. I remember that many times internally you feel that you shouldn't do this, right? And I don't know, immediately you still do it, and we know the consequences. So that means somewhere we're missing the steps. I know once I was in Mauritius, and I don't know why they make it, but on the road, there is sliding, like you have to come down to go on the pavement, from pavement to the road. And it's silver, steel. So I knew that once you put your foot, you will. But people were doing it, so I did it and I fell. Maybe I am not used to going into that kind of. And then I say, why I didn't listen to my mind before I did action. But there was a gap. So Tirkaldarshi means you are thinking of your thought, word, action. And then from action, what will happen? It's like past, present, and future. But everything begins with the thought, whether it is the Kaldarshi stage or Siddhaloki stage. Every stage begins with the thought. And now at this time, I have to take the right choice. That means I'm thinking of what could happen, right? And if that happens, then what will be the future? Right? If I fell, definitely I will be hurt. So it's a kind of process which we all go through. So we have to be careful at the level of the thought, make the right choice. So that's, I feel, is being Tirkandarshi.
Very nice, very nice. In today's Murli, Baba was saying that if you become soul conscious, you become a diamond. So give us like the most practical or yogyukt way of becoming soul conscious so we can become diamonds.
No, today I was actually thinking about that point while reading diamond, because diamond is a stone, right? It's a kind of stone, and from that stone they make it diamond. It's a diamond stone, but it's a stone. So when there is body consciousness, then the value is like stone. But as much becomes soul conscious, the stone is changing into diamond. And gradually all the flaws which are in the diamond are removed. So because from stone to diamond, so from body conscious to soul conscious, and as much we become soul conscious, the value increases of that diamond because it's becoming flawless. So I really liked it, and I thought, why Baba calls us valuable diamond? Why Baba uses word diamond? Then I realized that whole process of diamond, most of you know, that is from stone to diamond, right?
Right, right. One last question. Today, when we were listening to the Sunday Murli, I think it was the 31st of March Murli, 1995 Murli, the little clip that was played, Baba was talking about Crown Prince. I loved it, Didi, when Baba said, all of you are Crown Prince. And I was thinking, great, Baba is calling me Crown Prince. So what is your take on this, on being a Crown Prince?
What else we are? Just imagine that God adopts his children, and when God adopts the child, then what will God make us, right? So you are like a crown prince. Baba many times uses words and he says, you are Raj Yogis, but you are kings, no? Raja. So that royalty, that personality of God's child is like a crown prince. So everyone should always have this intoxication that who am I? I am a crown prince. Baba is saying it, right? Because very soon we are having at Confluence Age the crown of light and doing elevated actions, charitable actions, and very soon will become double crown, from light to other crown. Both crowns will be there, right?
Thank you so much, Didi. Thank you for your valuable insights. Om
Okay.
Shanti.
बाबा की आशाओं की बनी तस्वीर रूहानी है, करते रहे पूरी हर आज्ञा हमने ठानी है। बाबा की आशाओं की बनी तस्वीर रूहानी है, करते रहे पूरी हर आज्ञा हमने ठानी है। बड़ों के आशीषों की ये तो मेहरबानी है, मीठे सुरों की बनी सरगम सबको सुनानी है।
We've already agreed that we want to have relationships with other people because we don't want to be alone. At what point do you say, how much must you concede to maintain a relationship? Supposing you want to have a relationship with someone and the concessions are such that maybe you're going to lose track of your own.
मतलब संबंध को तो ध्यान में रखना ही है, पर हमेशा यही सोचते रहे संबंध अच्छा रहे और खुद में खुद को खो दे हम उसमें।
संबंध अच्छा रहे ऐसे कोई रखते तो मूंझते जाएंगे, परंतु ऑटोमेटिक संबंध अच्छा रहता है। मेरी भावना अच्छी है, अपन को भी अच्छी तरह से संभालना है, दूसरे से संबंध अच्छा रखने से अनेक आत्माओं को सुख मिल सकता है ना.
She says it's true, because if all the time we only think that I have to maintain good relationship, then I can lose the track. But then also, if I take other way around, that I maintain good feelings towards everyone, and when I am able to maintain good feelings within myself towards others, then relationships will always be definitely good. So I am really taking care of my own self first, and then I am sharing that in relationship with others.
मैंने कहा, मेरे को लंदन में बोला था, सारी लाइफ में तुम सबके साथ संबंध अच्छा कैसे रखा है. मैंने कहा मुझे बिगाड़ने का मतलब ही नहीं है ना.
Somebody asked her in an interview in England that why you have such a beautiful way to keep good relationship with everyone in your life, and she said, because my heart, my feelings are such, I have nothing really to spoil the relationship with others.
क्योंकि बिगड़ा हुआ संबंध दुख खुद को दुख करता है, फिर सुधारना मुश्किल हो जाता है.
Because when relationships are not good, it causes pain, it causes sorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
माँ बच्चे का
I
है,
agree.
हस्बैंड वाइफ का है, संबंध अच्छा होना चाहिए.
All relationship, parents, children, husband, wife, whatever relationship should be good relationships.
Now, everyone, most people say, well, how do I know what my mission in life should be, my reason for being in this world? How do you know what should be your role? What should?
कैसे
how
पता
do you
चले?
know?
कई लोग कहते हैं मेरे लिए जीवन में मेरा क्या मिशन है, मेरा क्या पर्पस है, मेरा क्या रोल है, ये कैसे पता चले?
इसलिए हम हमेशा समझती हूँ, हर एक अपने आप को अंदर से टाइम नहीं देते हैं, दुनिया को देख करके पूछ समझते हैं हमारा क्या रोल है.
I feel that people do not give enough time to their own selves, like to go within and discover. It's always like we look at the world, and looking at the world we want to decide now what role I want to play.
Or what
But
role
actually,
what's for me.
actually one needs to go within and reflect, and then there will be clarity about one's own self, but it won't come from outside world.
एक कुदरत का नियम है, हम तेरा पार्ट मैं नहीं बजा सकती हूँ, इसका मैं नहीं बजा सकती हूँ, मेरा आप नहीं बजा सकती हूँ.
Because it's a natural law that even if we all have to play role, then yours is different, hers will be different, and mine will be different. So answer to find role will not come from outside, it will come from within.
I see.
अंदर से अपनी पहचान है ना, तो मुझ कंफ्यूजन नहीं है.
So knowing yourself is very important, and once you know yourself, then it becomes very clear about your mission and your purpose.
Right. I had two questions I want to ask. I've been wanting to ask someone. Can you explain to me karma? That's the first one I wanted to ask. The second was, what is the third eye?
तीसरा नेत्र और कर्मों के बारे में.
इंसान हर कर्म इंद्रियां कर्म करता ही है.
All the senses, sense organs are for doing actions. So we always do actions, and action means karma. Karma is a Hindi word, in English is action.
तो कर्म के बगैर कोई रह नहीं सकता.
And no one can stay without doing karmas, without doing actions.
I see. So it's your actions are either good or bad.
फिर आता है मनुष्य, अभी मनुष्य को समझा है, अच्छा करे या खराब करे, पाप करे या पुण्य करे, परंतु समझ सके पाप करता ही रहता है, किसको देख करके करता है, अंदर डिजायर से करता है.
People do have this understanding that what is good, what is bad action, what is sinful action, what is a charitable action.
They know.
But some or other, there is this kind of trend that they keep doing wrong actions or sinful actions, and they find it very difficult, to stop somewhere.
They think they could get away with it, but in the end they don't.
आज के ज़माने में कहेंगे ये अच्छा करो, कहेंगे ट्रैक करेंगे या टाइम आएगा, और जो खराब कर रहे हैं उसको चेंज करने के लिए एम ही नहीं है.
And in today's world, if something wrong or negative has to be done, it's spontaneous. People don't think. But if we say to do something good karmas, say I will try, I will see if I have time. So they always have some excuses.
Stop and think to do the right thing.
Right.
Right. Well, tell me about the third eye. What is that?
अच्छा, यही है तीसरा नेत्र कहते हैं. ये दो आंखें जो है ना तो संसार को देखती है, अपने शरीर को देखती है, अपने सिकल को देखती है, परंतु अंदर की आंख अपन को देखती है। उससे पता चलता है मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, मुझे क्या करना है।
With these two eyes, we can see the world, outside world, everything, whatever is outside in the world, we can see. But it's not that we can see I cannot see my own self through these two eyes. It's only through the inner eye that I can see my own self. वो क्या है तीसरा नेत्र?
मनुष्य के अंदर समझ।
I'm asking her that what is third eye?
In other words, the third eye is to look inward.
समझो आंख भले मेरी देखती है पर जानने की कोशिश करती है, न सिर्फ देखती है।
She says it's the understanding, is the wisdom, which is like third eye. That means even when you see something through these eyes, but you try to analyze, you try to understand, you try to know more about it.
That's when you see it with the third eye.
That's where you see through the third eye.
That's wonderful.
जानने चाहता है कुछ करने के लिए।
And person wants to know more so that one can do something about it.
अंदर की आंख तो जैसे रोशनी आई, अभी अंधकार दूर हो गया, अब मैं कुछ करूं।
And it's like you start seeing from within and you feel that darkness is being removed, the clarity is gained, and I can see very clearly what is right. So person feels very happy, very enlightened.
I see. We could talk for a long time, but we've run out of time for this program. So I want to thank you so much for coming, and I want to thank you, Sister Mohini.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
It's really been a wonderful experience for me talking with you both.
Thank you.
बाबा तेरा बनने में सुख मिलता इलाही है, सुख मिलता इलाही है। बाबा तेरा बनने में सुख मिलता इलाही है, सुख मिलता इलाही है। खुशियों से भरा जीवन हर पल में कमाई है, हर पल में कमाई है।
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar. So tomorrow is Saturday and our schedule from Amritwala 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. Meditation will start at 6 a.m. followed by Hindi Avyak Murli. Tomorrow is Saturday, so Avyakti Children's class from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Avyakti Youth class from 3 to 4 p.m. Evening 6 p.m. meditation will start followed by Hindi series, meditation English series and Avyakti journey chit chat. Now we'll do Avyak Murlis. Welcome to Avyakti journey. Avyak Murlis from 1969, speaking to the heart of an angel.
June 1971. Three things are needed in life: nourishment, happiness, and treasures. Babdada meeting Dadi Nirmal Shanta. You have established a place for service in Calcutta, but just as you have established a place for service, in the same way, the form of sustenance should now increase also. How can all souls receive the blessing of peace through the museum in Calcutta. There is a great deal of peacelessness in Calcutta. So you should spread so much sound that it reaches the government that peace can easily be attained through this place. Through the government, peace can also be offered to all. You're invited to go and give lectures in jails because you have the method to make sinful souls into charitable souls. This is why they invite you. In the same way, if there is peacelessness anywhere, they should consider the Shakti army and invite them. There will also be such an offer from the government. Only then will you be praised. Make such plans that the sound spreads. Amidst peacelessness, peace is an instrument for safety. You will be very well known through this. Just as the furnace bhatti is remembered because that particular place remained a place of safety, even though there was a fire burning all around it. So there will be fire in all four directions, but they will experience that this is the only place for peace. They will feel that they can only receive safety and peace through this place. Increase this task of sustenance. This will only happen when you create one place, especially for the practice of yoga, so that as soon as people enter that place, they have the experience of not knowing to where they have come. Even the place can make someone's stage move forward. The place of Madhavan also makes your stage move forward. So create such a place that any soul who is distressed and troubled experiences from the moment he arrives where he has reached. Create such plans. Do you consider yourself to be the embodiment of success? In order to be the embodiment of success, what main virtue is it essential to imbibe? In order to be the embodiment of success, you need the main virtue of tolerance. Tolerance and easiness will make any task successful. Just as when a patient person carries out a task after careful consideration and so receives success, in the same way, those who are tolerant are able to make those who have strong, bitter sanskaras cool, or make a difficult task easy with the power of their tolerance. Those who have the power of tolerance will also definitely be deep and mature. Those who are mature go into the depth, and those who go into the depth will never be afraid of any task. They will attain success by going into the depth. To be continued. Om Shanti.
Transform the atmosphere with volcanic yoga tapasya. Discipline remembrance. The pilgrimage of remembrance should be easy and also powerful. Powerful remembrance gives you a twofold experience at the same time. On the one hand, remembrance is like fire, which does the work of burning and brings about transformation. On the other hand, it gives you the experience of happiness and lightness. Such disciplined remembrance is accurate and powerful.
ज्वालामुखी योग तपस्या द्वारा वायुमंडल का परिवर्तन करो। विधि पूर्वक याद। याद की यात्रा सहज भी हो और शक्तिशाली भी हो। पावरफुल याद एक समय पर डबल अनुभव कराती है। एक तरफ याद अग्निबन भस्म करने का काम करती है, परिवर्तन करने का काम करती है, और दूसरे तरफ खुशी और हल्केपन का अनुभव कराती है। ऐसे विधि पूर्वक याद को ही यथार्थ और शक्तिशाली याद कहा जाता है। ओम शांति।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.